Welcome back to State and Local Government and Politics. In Part 6, we'll discuss the core dimensions of sustainability and environmental protection. The core dimensions of sustainability. Sustainability entails maintaining values while adapting to changing conditions. First, social objectives. A commitment to human capital is of critical importance to sustainability. Modern society has identified certain types of knowledge, skills, and abilities associated with some types of employment, essential to promoting progress, the basis of modern societies and organizations that often demand highly specialized divisions of labor. Second, economic objectives. Sustainability demands that we create deeper social and economic relationships, focusing on the provision of collective benefits rather than focusing too heavily on the stimulation of economic motivation based on the maximal accomplishment of rational self-interest. Individual economic benefit can emerge when equitable market structures reward individual market innovations and hard work. Sustainability is promoted most effectively, however, when the individual economic success leads to community benefit in the form of jobs, infrastructure development, and renewal and nurturing of a stable tax base to support public programs which can address social equity goals. Third, environmental objectives. Environmental objectives are advanced when effective social and economic structures are in place and state and local governments can address higher order needs for beauty and justice. Appealing to consumers as individuals seeking to promote their own self-interest within their broader roles as community residents will more likely than not serve to incorporate environmental sustainability into the decision-making process of citizens. Citizens taking an active concern for the environment would likely translate into a strong market demand arising for products, which would be manufactured locally and marketed in environmentally sound ways. Fourth, institutional objectives. Institutional objectives require that sustainability become an almost infectious concept across state and local government jurisdictions. By means of interinstitutional networking, each sustainable state and local community would serve as a model for other communities and states seeking to accomplish similar goals for their residents. The dynamic must become one of the contagions of best practices, with strong demand from well-informed citizens that effective practices observed elsewhere need to become part of their state and local government institutional and policy structure. The National Environmental Protection Act of 1970, the NEPA, served as the initial impetus for much state and local policy innovation. State environmental policy agencies, or SEPAs, were created in most states in the 1970s to provide an interface with the EPA to enforce state environmental quality standards. Under the NEPA, all applicable federal agency actions must be evaluated prior to initiation in terms of potential environmental impacts, and if such impacts are anticipated, plans must be outlined for how harmful impacts will be either prevented, significantly reduced, or compensated for in some appropriate way. The NEPA was the first comprehensive environmental policy legislation in the United States. With growing concern for environmental quality issues relating to air and water and wildlife habitat, many state policy innovators saw the NEPA and state analogs as presenting an opportunity to consider more carefully the quality of the environment within their own jurisdictions. Using the NEPA as a blueprint, state environmental quality standards are in many cases more stringent than federal requirements. Currently, 18 states, including Virginia, the Department of Environmental Quality, have NEPA-like requirements. Environmental quality innovators are an important part of promoting sustainable development in states and communities, and they are related to other state and local goals directed towards the promotion of a clean environment, the provision of good public health services, and the provision of strong public safety services to be called upon in the event of natural disasters. Economic vitality is necessary to sustain these environmental and community protection efforts, but the recognition is now rather widespread that such commercial and manufacturing activities as take place to provide employment and income and tax revenue to state and local government must be carried out in an environmentally sensitive manner. In Part 7 of Sustainability, we'll discuss social issues and the conclusion.